In this video, we're going to be practicing multiplication using the standard algorithm. Like always, let's start with our standard. Our standard is 4.4D. Let's go ahead and read it together, please. Number and operations. The student applies mathematical process standards to develop and use strategies and methods for whole number computations and decimal sums and differences in order to solve problems with efficiency and accuracy. The student is expected to use strategies and algorithms, including the standard algorithm, to multiply up to a 4-digit number by a 1-digit number, and to multiply a 2-digit number by a 2-digit number. Strategies may include mental math, partial products, and the commutative, associative, and distributive properties. And like I said earlier, in this video we are going to focus on multiplication using the standard algorithm. Okay, let's go ahead and get started with a little review from 3rd grade. In 3rd grade, you were asked to multiply a 2-digit number times a 1-digit number. And let's review how to do that really quick. When you're going to start multiplying, you always start with the bottom number, and you multiply the ones place times, or whatever place value you have down here, times the smallest place value of the number on top. In this example, the smallest place value we have is the ones place. So I'm going to start multiplying my ones place. I know 4 times 9 is 36. However, 36 has 2 digits. I cannot just write 36 here. I have to look at my number 36 and think, I have 6 ones and 3 tens. So my 6 is going to go in the ones place, and my 3 tens are going to come up here to the tens place. I'm going to have to regroup them. And what I like to do to remind myself about these 3 extra tens, I like to add a little tiny plus sign up here, so that after I multiply, I remember to add my extra numbers that I regrouped. So we're going to continue. 4 times 9 is 36. Again, my 6 here, my 3 up here with a little plus sign to help me remember. Then I'm going to multiply 4 times the tens place. I know 4 times 7 is 28. But if you remember, I wrote an extra 3 up here from the 36. So 28 plus 3 is 31. So I'm going to write my 1 here and my 3 from the 31. I would try to find another place value to put it on top. Since there's nothing up here that I can sit it on top of, I'm just going to scoot it on down. So now I know when I multiply 79 times 4, my product will be 316. Alright, let's go ahead and move this up to a 4th grade level. I'm going to use the exact same numbers I had before, 79 and the 4. However, if you remember from the standard, we have to be able to multiply 2 digits times 2 digits. So I added this extra 5. And just like before, we're just going to multiply like we did in the review, like we would in 3rd grade. So I'm going to start when I start multiplying, I'm going to ignore my tens place from the bottom digits. Just like before, I start off with my ones place times my ones place, my ones place times the tens place. Then I'm going to go ahead and scoot over my paper and now pay attention to the tens place digit, which in this problem is the 5. So let's go ahead and get started. So right now, I'm going to pretend this 5 is not even there. We're just going to ignore the 5. And we're going to multiply like normal. 4 times 9 is 36. My 6 here, my 3 I need to add up here. And I'm adding this little plus sign to remind myself that I need to add them to my product at the end after I multiply. So let's move on. 4 times 7 is 28, plus 3 more is 31. My 1 here, my 3 would go up here if there was a number, but there's not, so my 3 stays here. Now that I'm done with that, just to remind myself that I'm done, celebrate, I get to cross out my 4. And I'm also going to cross out this plus 3 that I have up here, because I don't want to confuse myself. Now, I need to move on to the 5. However, I know that this is not a 5. The value of this 5 is actually 50. To show that I know that this is a 50 and not just a 5, I'm going to write in a 0 down here. That way I know that this is not a 5, it's worth 50. Then, after I've acknowledged the fact that this is a 50, I'm going to multiply like normal. So I'm going to multiply 5 times 9. I know that's 45. So my 5 goes here, and my 4, I'm going to put it right up here with a little plus sign to remind myself to add it to my product. Now 5 times 7 is 35, plus 4 more is 39. And since there's nothing to put my 3 on, I'm just going to go right here. Now, I have the 2 answers. I have 316 from when I multiplied 4 times 79. And then I have my second answer, 3,950, from when I multiplied 5 times 79. Or technically a 50 times 79. These are called partial products because they are a part of my answer, of my final answer. So what I need to do with both of these partial products is that I need to add them. The good thing about lining up your numbers this way is that they are already aligned, just like you need to have them in an addition or subtraction problem. So I'm going to start adding them from right to left. 6 plus 0 is 6, 1 plus 5 is 6, 3 plus 9 is 12, my 1 I'm going to have to regroup up here, and 3 plus 1 is 4. 1, 2, 3, comma. And so now I know, when I multiply 79 times 54, my product is 4,266. If any part of that was too fast, please, please, please go back and watch and pause wherever you need to pause. Alright, now that you have a little bit of understanding on how to multiply a 2-digit number times a 2-digit number, I have your challenge problem. Okay, here's your challenge problem. You're going to have to multiply 64 times 27. So right now, I need you to go get some paper and some pencil so you can do this challenge problem. Go ahead, pause the video, and go get your paper and your pencil so you can do the challenge problem. Alright, now that you have your paper and pencil for your challenge problem, go ahead and write down the challenge problem, 64 times 27, and you're going to pause the video to go do your problem, your challenge problem. When you have your final product, you can come back to see whether you solved your challenge problem correctly, and if you did, that means you're on your way to being a better mathematician. So go ahead and pause the video. Go ahead, pause it. Hi, and welcome back from answering your challenge problem. The answer of the product of multiplying 64 times 27 is 1,728. If you solved this problem incorrectly, go ahead and wait with me so that I can show you how we got this answer, this product, and that way you can check your work and see where you made the mistake. So let's start. I multiplied 7 times 4. That gives me 28. So I wrote my 8 here, and I regrouped my 2 to the tens place. 7 times 6 is 42, but I have to remember to add the 2. So 42 plus 2 is 44. And that's where I got these numbers from. Since I was done with the 7, I crossed it out, and I also crossed out this 2 on top to remind myself that I already used that number. And I don't need to pay attention to this 2 anymore. Then I went down to the 2. However, I know that's not a 2. It's a 20. So, I wrote a 0 in the ones place to remind myself that this is a 20. Then I multiplied like normal. 2 times 4 is 8. And 2 times 6 is 12. And this 2 we've already used, so I just wrote 12. These are my partial products because they are part of my product. So what I need to do with them is add them. I know 8 plus 0 is 8. 4 plus 8 is 12, so I need to put my 2 here and regroup my 1 to this top part. So I wrote the 1 here, and if you look really closely, there's a little tiny plus sign to remind myself to add it on there. I know 4 plus 1 is 5, plus 2 more is 7, and then 1 plus nothing is 1. And that's how I got my final product of 1,728. Now, if you have any questions about how to do this, go ahead and write them down so you can ask an adult when you see one, because I don't want you to forget your questions. They're very important and you need your questions answered. If any part of this video was way too fast or you need me to repeat it, go back to that place, rewind the video, and watch it again, please. Thank you so much for joining me for my video on how to do the standard algorithm when you're multiplying. Have a great day.